So Erev Tov, good evening everybody. It's great to see you all. We're getting so close to Yom Kippurim. We are also getting close to the end of the alphabet, of the Aleph-Bet. And last night we had this fantastic session on Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, on the Reish, and now we're entering the realm of the Shin. And for that, I'm going really quickly to show you our piyut, the piyut that we've been playing all this. Yes, there you go. And guess what? The Shin actually gives us another of the qualities for God, and we need it really badly these days. Shomea tefilot, listen to our prayers, or to prayers, but it is our prayers that we want God to hear. Shema kolenu, want to hear our voises as well. So let's sing together. חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו, חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו, פועל ישועות צופה עתידות, קורא הדורות, רוכב ערבות, שומע תפילות, תמים דעות, חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו. That's exactly right. And now I'm turning to give you an idea of our guest, our teacher tonight, Rabbi Deborah Lynn, born and raised Washingtonian, a graduate of the University of Maryland, the Art Institute of Boston and Hebrew Union College, the Jewish Institute of Religion in New York. The rabbi of also Fredericks, Virginia, a chaplain of JSSA, and the co-chair of the Jewish Earth Alliance, amplifying the Jewish voice on the climate crisis. She will bring her diverse background in anthropology, art, and meditation to the beautiful crowned letter Shin, the symbol, of course, of our community Shirat HaNefesh. And with that, I'm having the immense pleasure to spotlight Rabbi Deborah Lynn for all of us. And here she is, and thank you so much for teaching us.
You're so welcome. It's such an honor to be here tonight in the penultimate letter and the Erev, before the Erev of Yom Kippur. Is just a wonderful pleasure. And let me share my screen with you and press these two buttons. And let's see. All right. Can you see that? Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Let's see if I can put it on full screen. All right. So here we have tonight I'm doing the 21st letter of the alphabet, but it's really the 21st.1 and 0.2. It's both Shin and Sin, and an unusual pair. And we have two beautiful fonts here, a very modern font and a beautiful traditional font. And for the Sin, the dot is on the smola side. The left side in Hebrew is smola. And for Shin, it is on the right side, yamina. So there's nothing, there's no word for right that it starts with a resh, but that's okay. And then we have these very interesting dots here that could be a dagesh, but they are not. They are called mapik, and we'll look at that a little bit later. But Shin is such a wonderful, beautiful letter. I was so happy to be able to choose it. And it's such an important letter. There are so many beautiful words that are involved with this holiday that start with Shin, shofar, shevarim, the broken notes, Shabbat of Shabbat, Shema, kolenu, shuv, as in teshuva, shomer, to guard, shamayim, the heavens, shefa, overflowing, sim shalom, and 3 names of God, Hashem, Shem, name, Shekhinah, and also Shaddai. And of course, we have Rosh Hashanah, Shana being the year, being also meaning change or repeat. And the word Shir, a song, Shagag, to make a mistake, shekel, you know, is money, Israeli money. Sha'ar is the gate. And Shavah is to take an oath, which we will sing Kol Nidre and upturn that in 2 nights. And of course, Moshiach is the second letter is a Shin, Shalosh, and 3 numbers, Shalosh, Shesh, and Sheva, and 1 month, Shvat. It's not so easy to find words with the left side dot, with Sin. There are 3 S's in the Aleph Bet, Samach and Sav or Tav without the dot, and Sin. And there's Sarah and Safa, lip, Simcha, Sechel, smarts, smaller, left, and Seva, to be satisfied, Sadeh, field. And when we come to Sukkot, Schach, the stuff that we put on the roof, the lattice work that we put on the roof. But I think the most important letter with a sin is Yisrael, of course. It's the second letter. Many words have Shin or Sin as the second letter that are so important. Mishkan, Yesh, Mishpacha, Mishpat, Mishuga, and also Moshe and Hashem, which, if you hadn't noticed, are backwards from each other. Moshe is Hashem spelled backwards. And then She, just She, is a prefix that abbreviates Asher, which means which, who, and that. So it's very open to interpretation, midrash and interpretation. These beautiful letters are made up of, you could say, 4 letters. There's a Vav here, there's a Zayin here, there's a Yud here. And if you turn it upside down, you can see a Chet, and you can see a Tet here. So it's made up of Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, and Yud, all in a row. And it has 2 variations, which is true of other letters, Bet and which have a dagesh to change it, but they actually don't change the meaning. But with Shin, where the dot is, changes meaning, which is unusual in the alphabet. So here we are with this penultimate letter, the letter next to the last one. And it's called in Hebrew, Sha'at, a phrase in Hebrew for the 11th hour is Sha'at Hashem. So using the letter as the 11th hour. And here we are in the 11th hour before Yom Kippur. It is the time, the last moments that we have to ask for forgiveness from each other. So Shin and Sin equal 300, and its name spelled out Shin, Yud, and Nun equals 360, which are the degrees in a circle. So it comes from well, I'll get to that in a minute, but it comes from a glyph that is of a tooth, and you know this from the Vilhafta, Vishinantam livanecha. Shin means a tooth, and this says to in the Vilhafta to impress our children, to, I think, to bite them, no, to let the words of the Vilhafta come through your teeth. So some say that it resembles a heart, which I never really noticed before. And they say that the left ventricle over here, well, this shows it better, is smaller. And that's the one that pumps blood to the lungs only. And the larger ventricle, the right one over here, pumps blood to the rest of the body. So I learned so many things this week. I went down so many rabbit holes for Shin, and I learned so many new things for the letter. It's just so beautiful. Here's another beautiful interpretation of it by Sharon Gershoni. She uses Japanese calligraphy to do her art. And this is a chart that you've probably seen many times, looking at the letters, how other languages share this letter in the same form, in Phoenician and Aramaic, Syriac and Arabic. You see the W here, and it also has these little diamonds on top, these 3 little diamonds. And some believe that Cyrillic, Russian, took the sound sha from the shin, and it looks just like a shin down here, and it really looks like teeth, doesn't it? Looks like two front teeth, like Bugs Bunny. So the shin shows up in some very important places, and one of the most interesting, I think, is in the word shibboleth, which is in the book of Judges, chapter 12, verse 6. And it even shows up in the West Wing. So I want to see if I can show you this video, this little part of a video of the West Wing, where President Bartlett explains shibboleth better than I can. He does a wonderful job of it. Can you hear that okay? And see it okay?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Ramon, can you tell me?
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Oh,
Not on.
oh, it's not on. All right, let's see. Let's see how I can do that. Still no?
Still no.
Aye. All right, how do I do that?
Hang in there.
Yes. Hang in here. Let's see. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know how to
You want to
get it.
minimize what you're looking at, and then maybe it would show.
This is full screen, and this is minimized.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, this was no. Can you hear it?
Nope.
Oh, boy. Okay.
You could put the link in the chat, and we can just do it quickly.
Why don't you try your next slide?
Why don't I try what?
The next slide, maybe it's on there.
The next slide? No, it's not. I don't think so. No, I left it up on my screen. It's not on the next slide.
You want to put the link in the chat?
Yeah, let me see if I can do that. Okay, I'm having trouble getting to it. Here. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not very computer savvy. Link in the chat. Oh, now I have to stop sharing though. I wonder why it's not going to do that. That's going to be tough at the end. Chat. Okay.
Great. We see the link.
Okay. Now, what if I link on it? Would that work?
Give it, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not anymore. I think everybody just clicks now quickly, watches and comes and then closes the chat.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Welcome to the Disney Bundle, where Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus
How do that should be over in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, we're all set. What am I doing? Pardoning a turkey. Okay. Mr. President. X, I think you'll like this.
Oh, I want to move it forward a little bit.
Riveted palm handle, terrific. I don't like the handles. Okay. Mr. President, how's it going? Sir, we've taken a couple dozen meetings in the last 2 days. You met with Chinese embassy officials?
There you go.
They say Christians aren't persecuted in China since they're not.
Can't see it.
They don't qualify for refugee status.
Okay, can you just listen to it?
They also make the point that they broke Chinese law when they left the country illegally and should be sent back to their country of origin. It's a fair point. The INS agents also feel it's not uncommon in this situation for refugees to, how do I put it, feign faith. Yeah, that'll be code. So how do you tell the difference between, you guys know where Shibboleth is? It's a catchphrase, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, that's
Then say
fine.
now unto him. Say now Shibboleth, and he said Sibboleth, for he could not frame to pronounce it right. There's a password. The way the army used to distinguish true Israelites from imposters sent across the River Jordan by the enemy. So I'm having one of the Chinese refugees flown here. I'll meet with him tonight.
Mr. President, I can't, indefinitely with the turkey.
Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. President, what are you going to ask the Chinese refugee? I'm going to ask him to say Shibboleth.
Okay, let's cut that off.
Good. Did we get an interpreter? He speaks English. He's a chemistry professor.
Okay,
There was a while there.
who's got it on?
What happened?
Ah, okay. Terribly sorry. I haven't had problems with this before. So let me get back to my PowerPoint.
Was it supposed to be the West Wing?
Yeah, it is the West Wing, but you need
I
to
got
cut it
the
off.
part of
Who's
it.
got it? And who's got it on? So
I
we need
cut
to
it
cut
off,
it
but
off.
I did get to see it. Diana
Pardon?
got to see part of it.
Okay. Can we turn this off? Whoever has it on? Right.
It's off.
No, but I still hear it. Maybe I have it on. Okay.
Hit on the link and then close it afterwards and it'll shut it off for you. That's what you
Oh,
got to
there
do.
we go. There we go. Okay.
Got it? Okay?
Yeah, I got it.
No problem.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
I'm pretty savvy with the computer lately, okay?
Okay.
That was great. Thank you.
But the point is, let's see, so let me get back the PowerPoint. The point is that in Judges, Gilad was seizing the passages of the Jordan from the tribe of Ephraim, and they seem to talk like Catalonians with a lisp, a different sound to the S. And when they were asked to say Shibboleth, they said Sibboleth. And if they did, then they were killed because the Gileads were at war with them. So so Shin and Sin becomes very important, and the Shin and Sin shows up in three really important things that we are very familiar with.
You want to screen share again?
I thought I was, but I guess not. So sorry, Ramon. Okay, screen share. There we go. Okay. So we're very familiar with the where the Shin shows up. It shows up on our mezuzah. It shows up on our tefillin, and it shows up in names of God. There are three names of God with Shin: Shekhinah, which is the feminine indwelling aspect of God; Hashem, the name, and also Shaddai. And Shaddai stands for Shomer Dalatot Yisrael, to guard the doors of Israel. And we put that on our mezuzot, Shaddai. And the feminists were very happy to find out that Shaddai means breast. So that this was the feminist nurturing side of God. And there are also two kinds of Shin, a three-pronged, a three-headed, it's called, and a four-headed. And on tefillin, if you wrap tefillin, you will notice that on the head, on the Rosh tefillin, that on one side, the Shin has four heads, and on the other side, it has three heads. But when you see the four heads, you can all see this now?
Yes.
Good. When you have the four heads, there's actually a Shin in the middle here. There's a three-pronged Shin in the middle, if you look closely. And in mysticism, it's said that the three-headed Shin is the Shin of this world, while the four-headed Shin is the Shin of the world to come. And we see the Shin also in the priestly blessing. And the priestly blessing comes from Numbers chapter 6, verse 24. But the idea that the Kohanim should hold their hands like this comes from a mystical tradition. And it has a very interesting story. I'm sure that many of you know this story, but it's worth repeating, that when Gene Roddenberry asked Leonard Nimoy, who was playing Mr. Spock, could he think of some kind of greeting that the Vulcans would do? He said, well, you know, I was raised Orthodox in New York. And we had this thing where Dochening, where the Kohanim would come out and bless us, and they would hold their hands like that. And he said, that's great. Why don't you do that? And so that's how he got to use this symbol as a greeting for the Vulcans, and said, live long and prosper. And I can't think of a better way to summarize the priestly blessing than that. And then there is another aspect to the Shin, that it has crowns. I don't think anybody else has talked about the crowns on the letters. And it's very, you probably know the Midrash, maybe you know the Midrash about Moshe goes up to Mount Sinai, and he sees God writing the Torah, and he sees God putting these little daggers, they're called actually, on some of the letters. And he says, Hashem, what are you doing? Why? It's beautiful enough. Why are you putting this on the letters? Why are you putting these on the letters? And God says to him, I can't tell you now, but someday, in centuries to come, there will be a great Rabbi Akiva who will be teaching class, and you will walk into his class and you will find out. But the truth is, we still don't know what the crowns mean. I'm sure that the 36 righteous people who are always in this world, that are holding up this world, probably know that secret, but we don't know that secret, and we'll know that secret in the world to come. And it's interesting because they make an abbreviation of it, of shatnez guts, they say. And shatnez, you know, is the combination of wool and cotton that we are not supposed to wear, but the priests are supposed to wear. So these crowns maybe have something to do with that, but we won't know until Moshiach comes. And, you know, some people say that the reason they put the crowns on is because, this is really strange, is that because Shatnez is an evil deity and the crowns help to ward off this evilness, which sounds a little bit, you know, roundabout. But the final, or the penultimate secret of Shin that I wanted to show you, that I found this in researching Shin. God in Deuteronomy 16 says, you shall slaughter the Passover sacrifice for Ad Hashem in the place where Hashem will choose to settle the divine name there. Where will this be? So how did they find this place where to build the temple? And some archaeologists, anthropologists realized, this is you know, the, what's it called? The Holy Land model of Jerusalem. That's in the new city of Jerusalem, but it's a model of the old city. And what one researcher found was there are 3 valleys that surround it. The valley of Kidron, the valley of Ben Hinnom, which is sometimes called Gehenna because children were sacrificed there, and the valley of Tyropoein, which is the valley, oddly, of the cheesemakers. So Kidron means obscure or dark. So we have the obscure valley, the valley of torment, and the valley of cheesemakers. I don't quite know what to make of that, except it's kind of or and choshech. It's everything. But look at it. It's a shin. You can see this outline of a shin underlying where the holiest part of Jerusalem, the holy city, is. And here, where that dot is, or very close to where the dot is where the temple is. So the shin shows us the way. It points us the way. And it points us the way in a beautiful way to Shirat HaNefesh. And the shin is underlying the holiness of the temple. And here we have Shirat HaNefesh. And I wanted to ask Ramon if Jerry and he knew that that's how they were displaying the name of our shul, our community. So we have, it underlie the holiness of Shirat HaNefesh. And we see that it's a shin, a hey, and a nun, just like the shin, hey, nun of the letter shin. So I was going to end with a song, but I wanted to show you this beautiful, I just saw it someplace, let's see, on my screen. Let's see, stop share. Let me start sharing again. Stop share, share screen. There we go. I want to show you this beautiful can you see this? Let's see if you can see this. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I got that one good. This is the really important one. So I would like us all to just take a moment to sit quietly, to lift up our bodies in dignity, and to meditate on this beautiful calligrapher Izzy Plodwinski, who is showing us how he makes many different styles of the Shin. Let me start back here. And then I see we're up against the time because I fumbled, but I'd like you to see a little bit of this. So beautiful and so visual. And let's look at one more. There you go. So let me stop sharing. And I wish you all, may we Shema hear the cry of the shofar and the still small voice of our unique mission here on earth this week. Tzom Kal, have an easy fast, and Gamar Chatima Tova. May you be inscribed in the good book, in the book of life.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Ramon.
Thank you so much for bringing such a variety of beautiful, beautiful things, incredible calligraphy, and all the work that you have put into to show us the letter Shin, and of course, our prayer that we will find the ultimate Shir la Shalom, the song of peace, both words containing the letter that you honor tonight. Thank you, everybody. We are gonna continue tomorrow night with, guess what? Our last letter, letter Tav, and is going to be taught by no one else than also another of our members of our community. I'm talking about Darius Sivan, and we're gonna meet again at 8 o'clock. And then after that, well, hope to see you for Yom Kippur, and we're going to have a review on Mincha, on afternoon, before the afternoon prayer at 4:15, with a number of this excelling reviews of the letters, and just a little touch, so you keep coming. In any case, all these wonderful exhibitions are already on our YouTube account, and Deborah, I'm gonna be sending you very soon a link so you can share it with others that may have not been able to be here. Until then, I wish you a Laila Tov to all of you. May we all be blessed with Chatima Tova, with a good seal, and this exploration of our soul. May we all find the opportunity to see each other and to find the best of each other. Until then, thank you very much for all your support. Have a
Lila,
good night. Laila
Lila.
Tov.
Lila Tov.